everybody. Good morning. It's Friday and I'm live finally. Sorry, it took me a while this morning to get everything together. This is what happened. This is a weird thing. So over here in this house next door, we don't use a lot of water, and our water bill has been super minimal for, ever since we bought the house. And then when my washer broke next door, I had to do all my laundry over here, and suddenly my water bill, amounted to something big. The water company was sure that I had something broken with my water meter, and so they wanted to come and replace it. And of course it was today, and it's indoors. And so they just replaced my water meter. I tried to tell them, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but whatever, it was old, so they replaced it. Anyway, so I'm here now. Hi, Christy. Hi, Barb. Oh my gosh, Kelly, hello. So today I have a quick fun fold card, and I made a couple just to show you what I'm talking about. These are all over the internet right now. They are so popular. One thing I've noticed is that with the millions of Stampin' Up card makers out there, there are cards everywhere, and you can still come up with something original. It's just shocking to me. But this fun fold is not original. You make a belly band for it, and when it slides off, it unfolds into this kind of a fun zigzaggy pattern. And because this birthday pack has so many little punch out pieces and stuff like that, and cut aparts like this one right here, you can make gobs of birthday cards. Birthday cards are easy squeezy with this one. So these little tag shapes are part of a 12 by 12 cut apart page. Perfect. This is part of the ephemera pieces. And I just stuck it on a belly band, and you can see I just used ephemera pieces to decorate it, and of course the cool paper. And this is a great way to show off all of the different papers in a pack, because this design requires multiple papers, right? So, all right, let me adjust my camera just a little so that we're on, and I want to show you today the paper pack. I decided, okay, you guys will probably think I'm crazy, but I really like when I can make stacks of these cards. And so I just cut a whole bunch of them, and they're ready for paper, and I can get out all of my little, how you have a page or two here or there left of a paper pack? This is a great way to use them. I can just make card bases like crazy, and then on another day I can just stamp images like crazy and use it, to make the fronts. So that's what I'm doing with them. So let me show you first. First I'll show you the pattern. So, I keep all my patterns in these little envelopes. I call this the triple accordion card, and my upline Naomi showed it, although I gotta tell you, there's a million versions out there, because it's basically just a kind of a gatefold sort of card. So if you want to do a screenshot, here's your screenshot chance right there. A triple accordion, the base is 5.5 by 11. You score it at 1 1/4, 4 inches, 6 3/4 inches, and that's it. So basically you've got your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch base here. And then this, you just fold so it flips back and forth over the front, making it kind of a cool pattern. And then because it is so wonky, you really do need a belly band or something for it. So use any cardstock you have and just wrap around it and attach your big central image to the belly band. I have seen some people, you know, using like not using a belly band and just putting their central image here, but you got to realize it's pretty dimensional. You really have to crease this hard to make it stay flat. Okay, so that is the pattern. Now the paper I wanted to use, I have all this wood grain and I have these scraps in here. So I pulled a couple of scraps out of my wood grain paper. I've been trying to use a little bit of this. I feel like this, you know, I have like 2 packs that I'm slowly using up, plus a couple of sheets left over from Close to My Heart. And this wood grain is such a good neutral. It kind of goes with everything. But this is the paper pack I really wanted to show you today. So this one is called Serene Love. It is a DSP that came out in this last mini, and it's already in last chance, which means you can get it for a discount, which is even better, right? I mean, honestly. And as soon as I saw it, I knew I loved it. I had to have it. Now on camera, this pattern here looks black, but it's actually navy blue. And I don't know a good way to show that. So I'm just holding it up to the light, hoping that you can get a hint that it's navy and not black. So there's 2 sides, of course, to every sheet. There's a big stripe. That might be easier to see as a navy. And then there's this really busy print, which I think is like too busy for me, but would be fine in the background of a card. And I just love this one. There's something about that navy blue and white. So striking. So those are the sheets you get of the blue. And then you get the same thing in the Lost Lagoon. Thank you. And look at this pattern. So yeah, I'm showing you the patterns because I want you to see that you get a lot of background style patterns, which is perfect for these styles of cards. The other thing about these is I haven't seen many people show them off, and it's surprising to me because I just think they're beautiful. And this is, I think, Mossy Meadow. It's sort of that olive green. Look at the daisies. Ah, beautiful. I could get out some of my daisy die cuts and use with that. I think that'll look really beautiful. So I'll definitely be using this paper to make a bunch of those cards and maybe even a scrapbook page or 2. I just really like this, and I don't usually go for florals, but I love the monotone. I love a color with white, and these are seriously some of my favorite Stampin' Up! Colors in one pack. So hello. So this is going to be quick and easy because I went ahead and I cut all the parts and pieces already. Sorry. I just sort of dumped everything out. Okay. So, this is that wood grain. Remember the blue, and the back is that really fun print that everybody loves. But I'm using the blue today, and I'm just going to make that a background. Now, on the inside of your card, this is where you would write. And so obviously navy blue is not going to do the trick. So I made like a panel to put in here so that I could right on it, but I'll put that in a minute. Now, the front of the card, when you look at it, it's going to show this pattern, and the blue is what's going to show. So whatever you put on this panel is going to be the front of your card. This one's going to be more hidden. So I would say use the one you like the least, or the one that doesn't, that's too in your face or whatever, you know. So I cut 2 pieces. Now, if you cut these 5 1/4 all the way across, 5 1/4 width, and then this one is 2 1/2, 2 1/2, 4, 2 1/2, 2 1/2, and then this is 1. So you can just cut strips. Like what I did was I cut my paper down at 5 1/4, and then you just cut these strips off, and you can do this assembly line pretty easily. So depending on what you want showing on your card, you could do this little stripe, or you could do the floral, and I'm gonna pick the floral. I like the floral there, and so I'm gonna go ahead and put these on. And you could do the floral in both, you know, in both places. There's nothing says you can't, but I just thought it's kind of fun to show off the different colors of this paper. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at the Last Chance stuff, but I have to be honest, I was really close to my heart, never really discounted their product. Jeanette had a sort of a philosophy of it's better to give something free than make your product look like it's less worthy. You know, like if people always expect a discount, they'll wait for a discount, that kind of thing. So I was really surprised when I saw that Stampin' Up! Really discounts their products when they are leaving. And I was like, well, there you go. Here I am going, hey, look, discounts, yay, right? I really love this pattern. What's on the other side? The busy floral, or this pattern? I like this pattern. So anyway, my point is, sometimes when I go to like Daisy Lane or whatever, and I'm getting discounted products at their store secondhand, some of the prices at Stampin' Up! Last Chance is cheaper than what I would have seen it at Daisy Lane, and it surprised me. Okay, I'm still new at this, but it surprised me a bit. Now I want something on the inside, because when the card opens, you do see this, so you can put whatever you want on the inside. And I'm just going to add another strip here. I'm just making it sort of even. You know, the truth is, I get all perfectionist-y sometimes and try to make everything even, but, you know, somebody who gets this card is going to open it. Oh, isn't that nice? They might keep it for a while, and then, you know, never again. I don't know. Now, I need a place to write, which I don't really want it to show like this, because I'll be writing on it, and I'm not crazy about it being sideways either. But I think I can put it this way and it'll add to the design. You know what I mean? So I think I will do that. You're probably wondering where that came from. So this is the Queen Bee set again on the Last Chance items. I love it. Who doesn't love a more like realistic looking sort of bee? I mean, granted, this is not exactly realistic looking, but more so than the cartoon bees of the bee paper, right? But this is this here. I love this set because it has some texture things. It has a nice happy birthday. It's really good. It doesn't have dies. That's the only downfall, right? So tell me what you guys are doing today. Steve is home, and I know we were talking about getting something for lunch. I don't know what we're doing. I really don't know what we're doing. All right. Let's see. So here's what I did for the front, and I have no idea what I did with the belly band. Hold on just a sec. I guess I will cut a new belly band because I do not see one. So I'm just going to cut a 1-inch strip here. It can be the belly band can be any size you want. This is 1.5. That works. And when I make a belly band on something, this is how I do it. I lay it down and I just loosely kind of go across. Now you want it loose on the side or you won't be able to slide it on and off. Leave a little, you don't want it to fall off, but seriously, if you make it super tight, you will not be able to move it, okay? It won't slide the way you want it to. You'll be sorry. So I'm just kind of making it a little bit loose. And then I take the excess off. And I just put adhesive, I put it on the edge of this part of the paper and on the edge of this part of the paper. And that way you know you've captured both edges and you won't have it like hitched up. And you can see it's loose enough, it's gonna slide easy, which is what you want when you put a belly band on. I also like, if I'm going to put something on my belly band, I like to put the seam on the front where it'll be covered. Otherwise I put it on the back where it won't be seen as much. But we're gonna put something on the front. So I cut out of the wood grain, one of the hexagons, you know, that bee set that I've been playing with so much. Those hexagons are so fun. And I was thinking, wouldn't this be a beautiful scrapbook page with these papers and hexagons going down the page? I may do it. So here's this, and I'm going to put it on first. And basically, the idea is you want to adhere where it's only going to adhere to the band itself. Sometimes I use a foam tape and I put it on here so that I can put the foam tape on the belly band itself and then adhere to it. And then I know there's no adhesive outside of the band. Like, you don't want it to glue your card down. And then I have this real sweet little hexagon that I used for that stamp set right there, and I stamped it twice in blue. And I did it on both sides because I was so crooked on the first one, I didn't like it. So I figured flip it over, do it over again. There's that particular stamp. One thing about cling stamps, okay, if you have one that has words on it and you're finding that you always stamp it crooked, because the words look straight, but they're actually a little bit crooked, I try to make a flat side. I use my scissors and I trim this up and I try to make a flat side so that no matter what I do, I know if I follow the flat side of that stamp, I'll be straight. But this set is not mine. This set belongs to Karen, and I don't want to trim it up. I don't want to trim her set and do surgery to it like I would on my own. Okay, I love the flower. I did a quick fussy cut on this, and I'm going to put it off to the side. Now, this one is only going to hit in a certain area, so I have to be careful about where I put the adhesive so that I don't get adhesive all over the place, right? So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to hold it down, and then I'm going to flip it over and wipe off any excess glue that I have. That's one way that I like liquid glue, is that it's easy to wipe off if you get too much. You could always use like your tape runner or something. Okay, now this one, I want the bee to be a little bit dimensional. Let's face it, this card is dimensional, so you're not going to get away with putting it in a normal envelope, I don't think. Anyway, like, it'll fit in an envelope, but I mean, like, when you mail it, it's already, well, I guess it's not 1/4 of an inch. You might be okay. 1/4 of an inch is the guide that the post office uses. So if it's thicker than that, you have to pay more. All right. Like that. Okay, I'm going to put this belly band back on so we can see. And I just think this is really, really sweet, you guys. What a nice card, right? And then I went ahead wishing you a happy day, and I was thinking I could put it on here as the front, but I could even put it here. So this would be the front. This still shows on the front, but then when you open the card, the message would be still right here. So I could do it that way. I think I might. I like it. I like that it adds to the dimension of the card. And basically, other than adding bling, that is what I have today. I did not go too crazy because I am taking a class today. So I signed up to take a class where we're making a Christmas album using the 49th and Market evergreen paper. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. Look how beautiful that is. Ah, I love it so much. I think it could use some gems. But overall, love it. Anyway, 49th and Market has this evergreen paper. I'm going to show it to you here in a minute. So there's my samples. Now, if you, on this one, on the belly band, you might notice I made the belly band accent over a little bit on the right. And the reason I did that, made it scooched, is so that I could see the cake. I didn't want to cover up the cake. That was the coolest part of the card. And then this one I made super snug. So when I store this pattern in my envelope like this, I always like to make one card and slide in there with it. So if in the future, if this isn't enough instruction to make it, then I have a sample. So I will keep one card in here as my sample. I may keep this one because I just love it so much. And then I just store that. And then when I pull this one out, I have a sample of the card, a template of the card. if any of you purchase from me and you're not a scrapbooker or you don't want my scrapbook page of the month, all you have to do is shoot me a message and say, hey, Connie, can you send me a card template instead? And I'll send you this instead of a scrapbook page. I'll make a template for you, put it in an envelope, make you a sample card, and I'll send this instead. And that way, that's my thank you to you. And that way you have one in your stash. You can start your stash. I just think that's really a cool idea. I'm obviously going to be making more of these. This is what my stash busters are like. You know, I make a whole bunch and just cut up paper like crazy. Okay, let me show you. So 49th and Market papers are very hard to scrapbook with, in my opinion. They usually have like a cardstock pack and a lot of ephemera and stuff. This is like, I have a lot of ephemera for this kit, for this workshop. And then the paper, what drew me to this one this time was the paper. And I bought the class because I wanted more practice using these papers where the entire album is basically those giant images that, you know, we always hate to cover up in a scrapbook. But 49th and Market is one of those that I'm always drawn to, but I always hate to work with because look how big that pattern is. And yeah, I know you can plunk picture, but they do really cool things in their classes where they build up a lot of texture and they make their pages interactive. And so I just thought maybe I could, you know, take a class, learn how to do this, and then I can show it using other papers like Stampin' Up papers too. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's cool until you have to scrapbook with it and you don't want to cover everything up and you end up covering up all of the cool stuff. Anyway, so this is the pack that I'm using in my class today. I know, it's a winter. It's a winter. And the last thing I really need is more Christmas stuff. Honestly, with all of the Christmas paper that I purchased, it's a little shocking that I bought more. There was something else I was going to show you that I've been making. Oh yeah, I took another class. Let me grab the cards for that. So I took another class. The Stamperia is another brand where they have the really cool papers that are kind of real fancy and stuff. And so I took a card class using these coffee themed papers and ephemera. And these are really cool. These are little pockets to hold like gift cards. Lots of ephemera on these. And shakers, which of course my favorite. I love shakers. You know I love shakers. And these are really fun. Here's one with a belly band with a gatefold. I just love it. Look at this. See how they use the papers all over to decorate. When you love to get that card, I just think that's absolutely gorgeous. And I'll put that on off camera. And then here's one of the fun folds that we cut and made. Here's another one with a belly band. Here's another one that we cut. That, and lots of little pockets and tags and things like that. This is one where it you pull on the top and it slides up, like the stand-up easel style. card. I was thinking about making some of these the other day. I need to put a stopper on that one. I honestly had talked about doing this with, there was a friend of mine who asked me about these cards. I'm like, oh, these are really simple to make, and we should make some. Look at that. Isn't that fun? And then magic cards and stuff. So great. Anyway, so this is another class that I recently took. What are you guys working on? Are you taking classes? Are you working on things? Are you working on your pages? I would love to see things that you're making, even if they're not Stampin' Up branded. I would just love to see what you guys are working on. And it helps me kind of know your taste also. And, you know, some people, this is way too busy. And they're like, yeah, it's pretty, but I would never do that. See, this belly band, I made it too dang tight. It shouldn't be hard to slide on, right? It should be really simple. And I just made it too tight. I used doilies. Doilies? Can you believe that? When was the last time you saw a doily? I coffee stained it and everything. Anyway, so that's what's going on with me. I would love to see what you're working on. Show me. And thank you so much for following my videos and for ordering when you can and using the products and sharing what you make. I absolutely love it. So thanks so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.